Hello everybody and welcome to another action figure review. This is part 2 of my Halloween horror special, where I take a look at the McFarlane's Monsters Icons of Horror Deluxe 3-pack. And be sure to check out the first part with the unboxing and a closer look at the mummy figure. And today in this video I'm going to take a more detailed look at Dracula here, as well as the third figure from the Deluxe pack, Frankenstein's monster. But first, let's take a look at Dracula. And this is Dracula in one of his monster forms, with a huge bat-wing-like leather-type cape, chains hanging from all parts of his body. Take a look at these metal-like chains here, and bats connected to the chains. Well, this is just one grotesque appearance of Dracula, and I love it because I like these exaggerated, unusual portrayals of the classic monsters. But the mummy brought a lot of accessories, so what about this figure? Well, we have down here in front of him a lot of rats, as well as a few extra bats. And I'll be honest, these rats here, they are not very detailed. They are all in some kind of grotesque pose. Some of them have pegs here, so you can peg them into the figure, and other rats and bats have bended tails, so you can put them, for example, here on this chain, and you can switch some of the other tortured creatures out here, like this bat, and also on the back of the figure. So if we try to remove his cape here a little, which is quite easy, and take a look at the cape first, then I'll just have to balance the figure again here. Well, this is very, very cool. Take a look at these insane details here. And also on the outside, where you can see that this is not just a cape, it's like sewn together from different parts of maybe human skin and God knows what. Really, really cool. But it's also a bit tough to handle because you can't really pose it. It'll go back to the same shape again. So it's just a cape hanging on the figure. You can't really do anything with it. The figure itself, again, awesome looking details and great sculpt here in this interpretation of Dracula, with all the chains and all sorts of details also on his clothes. Like, for example, these skull knee pads here. And here on the back, as I mentioned before, there are a few different peg holes. So if I could find a rat here, I might be able to peg it into Dracula's back, like the rat here is crawling on him. Yeah, I gotta admit it's a pretty cool detail, even though the rats are not very detailed. They are, for example, the rats that come with the Nosferatu from Mesco, or even the rats from the old Silent Screamers Nosferatu are far superior. But this is a pretty cool detail. Hanging rats directly on the body. Oh, well, this one takes a little effort, but man, I wouldn't want to meet him anywhere dark. So what can this figure do? Can you even move it? Well, not much actually. The head can move slightly, and the arm here as well. The other arm only like this. You can turn him here at the waist, and then you can move the legs. And no, not really the knees or the feet. Yeah, I don't know, somehow we have an articulated toe section here. But other than that, the legs are definitely the weak part of the articulation, but the figure is able to stand. The thing that really bothers me about the articulation is the head, because you can't really make it look, if you try to turn the head, it will look kind of awkward. So you have to keep it like this and watch it from the side, and then you can't move the arms out of the way. You have to pose it in this rather aggressive pose. It's a cool pose, but I would have liked a little more. Compared to the Mummy, this Dracula figure is definitely more restricted. Now let's get Dracula out of the way and proceed to Frankenstein's monster, the third and final figure from the Deluxe 3-pack here. And again, more or less the same impression as with Dracula. This is a grotesque interpretation of the classic monster. Not only is he doesn't really remind me of any kind of Frankenstein that I have seen before, but he also carries a corpse on his back, and he also has these chains here, and I really don't know what to say. The details on this figure is again really, really gross and cool, and they might be even better if maybe with a wash of some kind, I don't know, but still out of the box it looks awful, which means cool. I think this is a skull with hair hanging down his shoulder, and the backpack cage he carries here is connected directly into his skull. And you have all these kinds of details on this figure. Yeah. And the chains as well hanging from all parts of his body. He's dragging them as he walks. You can really see that this creature, this monster, is carrying a heavy burden. So awesome looking. Frankenstein here has no accessories, so this is what you get with this figure. So let's jump right into the section where we see what this figure can do. Again, my first impression is that the articulation is rather restricted. This arm can go up and down, and you can turn the hand, and that's it. The other one here moves slightly, but is hindered by the shoulder corpse. You can move the head very, very little, but again, it's connected to these metal cage things here. But you can still get some kind of movement out of the figure. It can also turn here pretty good at the waist. The legs again move here and can't really bend at the knees. And you get rotation here on the lower part of the leg, and that's it. And then on the back here, you can work with the corpse to move it slightly. So it's a loose piece. I guess you could remove it if you want to. I don't want to, but it just wiggles around here. So there are different sections, different joints hidden all over this figure. So it can move, but it's pretty much restricted to stay in the same hunchback pose here. And here we have Dracula and Frankenstein's monster next to Count Orlok, the 6-inch figure from Mesco. And well, now I actually think they seem a little small compared to 6-inch scale. I would consider them somewhere between 5 and 6-inch, but I really don't know where to put them. The Mummy was taller, and we can just put him in here. So you can see a comparison next to him instead of Orlok. And well, now standing there, I think they actually fit pretty good together. So it's up to you if you want to post them with other scales. I think you can do it, especially with 6-inch figures. So now with the three of them together, I think I'm going to conclude on this review on all three figures. And let me say that I really think this is a very, very cool 3-pack. Value for money, great details, and in some cases, very surprising articulation and accessories. If you want your figures on your shelf to be instantly recognizable when someone enters and says, oh, well, that's Dracula, that's Frankenstein, you won't get that with these figures, but maybe the ones looking at them will wonder what they are, they will find the details gross and I don't know what. I like these interpretations of the classic monsters. I think they're great, I love the details, and I love how well, scary and creepy they look. So if you are like me, I would highly recommend to see if you can find this 3-pack from McFarlane's somewhere out there. Thanks a lot for watching this unboxing and review. Leave a comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more.